approval of minutes, 3A, regular meeting, September 14, 2015.
Make the motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Mr. Colbinson, second by Mr. Hansi. Questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you. Number 4, appearance of interested citizens for any topic other than the public hearing topic. Please rise and state your name for the record.
Good evening, my name is Heather Larson, and as you know, I'm the chair of the library board. The library board has approved the budget, and we would greatly appreciate your guys' support also. I know I have the support of Robert, he was at our meeting. Staff, Susan, does a great job putting it together, it's very thorough, very detailed, and we'd greatly appreciate your support for that.
Thank you very much. Appearance of interested citizens. Anybody have a question, comment, or otherwise per se? Please rise and state your name for the record.
Sonia Cook, Rushford. Ditto to what Heather said. I haven't seen the budget, but I understand cuts have to be made. I know you're responsible council people, and you need to be prudent. Please don't cut library funds. Please don't cut library funds. The library is such an important part of the community for all age groups, and a cut would be a mistake. Please don't.
Any other interested citizens? Go ahead, please state your name for the record, sir.
My name is Steve Hartwick. I'm not a resident of Rushford, but this is the closest library which I live to, and being a resident of Houston County, I know they pay at least a nominal fee to the Rushford Library based on patronage, so I believe I do have some standing here. And I would like to support the feelings about the need for the local library. I've heard some rumors in the air that some people are in the cloud and are thinking that we don't need a local library. And I have a couple of studies that have been done, one by the Pew Center for Research, which shows that it's almost even. I think probably one of the reasons that people think we don't need a library is because of the millennial population, 16 to 29. And the Pew research shows that it's almost identical, the support that that age group has for libraries, almost identical to those that are over the age 30. The millennials that were surveyed by the Pew Research, 62% said, quote, "A lot of useful, important information is not available on the internet," and 50% reported using a library or bookmobile in the past year. And just because the information is there on the internet doesn't mean that the average person can access it. Most government access takes place online, and not the kind of online that you get through a handheld device. Almost all Winona jobs require online applications, and again, those applications are not optimized for a handheld device. Only 37% of the households with an income of under $30,000 own a PC, and that's from the U.S. Census. I talked to my grandkids today about using the school computer lab, and the grandkids say they only have access to the school computer lab one day a week. The Blandon Foundation did a study, and I don't know, and I'm not that computer literate, but it's the 10M-5M high-speed broadbands. And in Fillmore County in 2015, only 46.22% of the households served have that high-speed broadband. Fillmore County ranks 76th out of the 84 counties in Minnesota. For someone at home who has homework or other education-related work, or someone who needs to access healthcare information, this is not available to them. If you look at the Labovitz School of Business and Economics, which is at the University of Minnesota Duluth, in 2010 they did a 64-page report, and it was basically a survey of library uses and attitudes. And one of the things they found out was the annual return of $1 spent in support of libraries equals $4.62 generated into the community. Also, when they surveyed these people, they found that the average household would be willing to donate between $31 to $38 annually to the library. In Rushford, it's estimated there's 5,000 patrons, and there's $130,000 operating expenses, so we're well under that amount.
All right, sir, I don't wanna cut you off, but we only allow about 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's fine, I appreciate your
I'll come
concern.
I'll come next week and tell you about the social returns.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think that our library board, our librarian informs our council of just what our use is here.
Good.
Anybody that pays attention to libraries understands that people visiting the library is Grand Central Station compared to 30 years ago. It's not just books. And I'll tell you this right now, the library's not closing, that's just ridiculous. If the library's gonna be closed, someone else is gonna be sitting where I'm sitting. That's not happening. If you got a community that says we're not gonna have a library anymore, you're just dead. We're a thriving community, and the library is part of that. But things get talked about with the budget, and they just do. So that's what I've got to say about that. Library's not going anywhere. So I do appreciate your homework put into this, and I appreciate everybody giving your 2 cents worth in the library. I do. Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm Bonnie Gibson. I was just gonna
Please rise, state your name
pretty
for the
much
record.
Bonnie Gibson. I live in Fillmore County, and I just heard through the grapevine that there was a possible shutdown of the library, and I was, of course, I was concerned because I agree with you that a library is an integral part of the community. I mean, it is so important. But I just wanted to find out what was going on, so that's why I'm here.
I have no idea where that rumor is coming from, but I assure you it is completely made up. I'm very annoyed right now. Very annoyed to hear that. Not with you personally. I just want to say, it is a 100%, yeah, 100% made up rumor, and God knows they're the most fun. But it's not true, it's not happening. So, anybody else? All right, let's move on. Number 5, notices, communications, announcements. See attached notices. 5A, Fillmore County Zoning Office notification of public hearing on proposed new language to allow expansion to an existing building. Of an existing building, excuse me. 5B, invitation from CETA to attend one of the regional meetings on the development of a cohesive marketing strategy to leverage opportunities such as DMC and J2G, which stands for Journey to Growth, which I just had to reread to remind myself. Thank you. Number 5, annual fire department open house, Saturday, October 3rd from 9 a.m. till noon at Rushford Fire Hall. Rushford Ambulance Service will also be participating. Number 6, the consent agenda. 6A, approval of verified claims, fund summary report for period ending 9/28/2015.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Colvinson. Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number 7, public hearing. As per public notification, public comment will be taken to consider amending the Rushford zoning ordinance to include a chapter to address renewable energy systems. The intent is to encourage systems that have a positive impact on energy conservation, yet limit the adverse impact on the community. See attached draft, chapter 23, reliable energy systems, geothermal and solar. A separate chapter will be brought forward at a later date to address wind energy systems. Upon receipt of any public comments and after further discussion, the council may find it appropriate to direct additional changes to the draft ordinance or may adopt the ordinance as presented.